about damn time. So Black Widow is the latest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in which we finally focus solely on Black Widow, aka Natasha Romanoff, played by Scarlett Johansson. In Black Widow, this film follows after the events of Captain America Civil War, into which, if you guys remember correctly, after Civil War, Natasha Romanoff is on the run. In Black Widow, we follow Natasha Romanoff as she is trying to reunite with her family so that she may find this place called the Red Room so that she may take this place down. Alrighty guys, so let's get into Black Widow.
Excellent!
When it comes to Black Widow's character, I have been eagerly anticipating a Black Widow solo film ever since her introduction in Iron Man 2. Not only do I absolutely love the way that Scarlett Johansson plays this character, but I feel like that ever since Iron Man 2 and every subsequent film that Black Widow has been in the MCU, that we've been getting these small teases of a backstory that would hopefully go into, well, a Black Widow solo movie. As you all can probably imagine, when I heard that they were finally making a Black Widow film, I got very excited, even though this was revealed after the events of Avengers Endgame, to which, if you guys haven't seen it, well, she has a very unfortunate fate. I was still very excited to see that Black Widow, a character that I love, a character that seems very compelling, would be getting her own solo movie, and even better, a film that takes place after the events of Captain America Civil War, a film that I absolutely love. When I saw that trailer, it looked like that Black Widow would essentially be a Black Widow version of Captain America the Winter Soldier once again. Another film in the MCU that I absolutely love, in my top 2 by the way. I'm very excited, as you all can probably imagine. So then, I saw the movie, and I'm happy to say that I enjoyed Black Widow. Starting off with the performances, the main 4 cast members in Black Widow I thought were absolutely terrific. From Scarlett Johansson to Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz to David Harbour, all 4 of them were great in this movie. Now, obviously, as you all can probably imagine, Scarlett Johansson once again crushes it as Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. There was one particular thing that I wanted to see from her character in this movie, and what I enjoyed is that we got these brief glimpses into the trauma that Natasha Romanoff dealt with from her early ages of life to the events leading up to Black Widow, and I really enjoyed seeing the brief glimpses of what we got from her character in this movie. If this is truly the last time we were seeing her playing this character, I thought this was a great last time to see her play this character. Also, I thought that Rachel Weisz was great, and not only that, but I thought she had some great character moments. I also thought that David Harbour was great, and not only did he have some great quieter moments, but he had some really great comedic timing. The main show stealer in this movie for me was Florence Pugh as Yelena, Natasha Romanoff's sister. My God, Florence Pugh in this movie was absolutely incredible. I'm a big fan of Florence Pugh. I absolutely loved her in Finding with My Family, and I thought she was by far the best aspect about Little Women. In this movie, there was one particular thing that I wanted, and Florence Pugh gave me that thing. In Black Widow, what I wanted the very most in this movie was showcasing how trauma and pain from your past and how things that you have done in your past would essentially still be affecting you in your current time. Florence Pugh did such a great job of conveying that pain and, once again, that trauma, and she showed so much vulnerability in this movie. After seeing Florence Pugh in this movie, I am so excited to see not only what they do with this character in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I am so excited to see where Florence Pugh's career goes after this movie. Another thing that I liked about Black Widow, and I'll mention this later on as well, was the action. The action in Black Widow I thought was really well done. It was well filmed, well choreographed, and I will admit there was one particular action sequence that I thought was really freaking cool. Another thing that I liked about this movie, and again I'll mention this later on as well, was the film's tone. It seemed like that they were trying to make this film a new Winter Soldier, but instead of Captain America, it would be for Black Widow's character, for Natasha Romanoff. I can see what they were trying to do with that film's tone, but for Black Widow's character. Lauren Baffi, I think that's how I pronounce his name. Lauren Baffi, I thought did a great job with the music. There were some musical parts in this movie where his score I thought was really freaking good. The film's opening credits has a cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. I mean, Nirvana is an amazing band. The choice of putting it over the opening credits I thought was a great choice. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did get goosebumps watching the opening credits, mainly because of that cover Smells Like Teen Spirit. In terms of the film story, what I'll say is this: the film story kept me entertained.
Well, that's just fucking great!
Do not get me wrong, I did enjoy Black Widow. However, at the same time, I have to say, Black Widow for me is the biggest disappointment of the MCU ever since Ant-Man and the Wasp for me. There are 4 big reasons as to why. The first of which is the story. Every subsequent film since Iron Man 2, I feel like we've been getting some really cool teases of a really cool and also a really dark backstory for Natasha Romanoff's character. I thought that that backstory would be explored through in this movie. This movie I feel like doesn't explore her backstory not nearly enough. What should have been a very compelling movie, a very compelling Black Widow movie with the tone of Winter Soldier, Black Widow's story to me felt very standard. This story should have felt so much more than just standard, especially given the character of Natasha Romanoff. The second reason as to why this film was a disappointment for me was the action of this movie. There is at least one cool action sequence in every MCU film. There is not a single action sequence, well, I should take that back. There is one small part in an action sequence that was really cool. There is not a single action scene in this movie that stood out to me. The action in this movie just didn't have any impact. And what blows my mind about the action in this movie even more so is this. Now, here's the thing. In Captain Marvel, in The Incredible Hulk, in Captain America Civil War, in Iron Man, in the Thor movies, those characters go through such peril in the action sequences. And the reason why those characters survive is because, to an extent, especially for Iron Man, they have superpowers. Natasha Romanoff, however, has no superpower, which is why it boggles my mind that in certain action sequences that she goes through certain things in this movie that either should have broken her to no end or should have straight up killed her. I was watching this movie with a buddy of mine. There is a particular action sequence in this film, and there is a part in this action sequence where Natasha Romanoff falls down 3 stories, and she hits so many things, and somehow she walks away with no injuries, where she should have easily have either broken her back or broken her ribs at least. The action in Black Widow, more than anything else, the action came off something like from Fast and Furious. The third reason as to why I found this film disappointing was because of the film's tone. Black Widow to me seemed like it was taking that tone of Winter Soldier, which I absolutely love, and applying that tone to Black Widow, which I thought, hey, the compelling character of Black Widow with the backstory combined with the tone of Winter Soldier, that's a match made in heaven right there. This film to me felt like it was just copying that tone, but without copying the touch and the writing of the Winter Soldier. There was one thing that I want to bring up before I go on my fourth and final reason, that is this. A lot of people have said that this film would have been better if it was released earlier between Civil War and Thor Ragnarok. Honest to God, guys, I really don't think that a release date change would have helped a damn thing. Maybe it would have helped just knowing that we wouldn't have known the ultimate fate of Natasha Romanoff, but at the same time, in terms of the story, if the script was still the exact same along with the story, a change in release date wouldn't have helped anything in my eyes. This reason in particular really kills me because I was so looking forward to this. But moving on to my fourth and final reason as to why this movie was so disappointing was because of the villain. Technically, there's 2 villains, but let's be real here. The main villain of Black Widow is Taskmaster. I don't know that much about Taskmaster, but from what I've read up, this dude is a badass villain. It kills me to say this, guys. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Taskmaster is the worst villain of the MCU since Malekith in Thor the Dark World. Taskmaster is not only a badass, but Taskmaster has a personality. In this movie, Taskmaster essentially is just there. Taskmaster shows up, causes some pain, and that's it. Imagine the Winter Soldier and Captain America the Winter Soldier without him being a badass, without the personality, and imagine him without the compelling backstory. That's Taskmaster in a nutshell. The moment I saw the plot twist in this movie revolving Taskmaster. Also, by the way, the other villain in this movie, why generic is a statement for him. He's just there.
And here we go.
So overall, do not get me wrong. I did enjoy Black Widow, even though it seems like I'm coming off way more negative than I intended, to which I do apologize because trust me, I did enjoy this movie. At the same time, I cannot deny that I expected so much more. This movie had so much potential, but unfortunately for me, it just did not live up to the expectations that I had, even though I did enjoy it. Black Widow is the biggest disappointment of the MCU since Ant-Man and the Wasp. So all in all, I'm going to give Black Widow a 3 out of 5 stars. Do not get me wrong, guys. I still enjoyed this movie, but at the same time, I cannot deny that this movie did disappoint me on more than one level. So comment down below and let me know, out of all the MCU films, which one is your biggest disappointment? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat. So if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links in the usernames are in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Black Widow. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell for whenever the latest video of mine goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 reviews, please click on right there or there. And of course, until my next review or video, I'll see you all next time.